Well, it's lucky that people out there have the ability to consume such flawless content, because flawless is what this is. Find a fault in this, and you can find a fault in anything, I think it's fair to say, with the power rankings. We're going to start, as always, with number 33 and work our way down to number 1 with the best football teams in the country. At 33 is New York, at 32 is London, at 31 we've got Wexford, and at 30 we've got Waterford. All of those are non-movers. Our first mover today is Sligo. They're down 1 place after getting beaten by Offaly, hammered by Offaly in the qualifiers, which means Wicklow are up to 28. Limerick are in at 27, of course, knocked out of the championship a couple of weeks ago, or at the weekend, I should say, by Westmeath, 213 to 110. Wicklow were knocked out a couple of weeks ago, so we've got Limerick as a non-mover, Wicklow still up 1, and then Antrim are down 2, also at the weekend, dumped out of the championship in pretty comprehensive fashion, hammered by Kildare on a 125 to 14 point scoreline, so they plummet 2 places, and that means Carlow are one of the risers. Their summer is done. They were knocked out by Longford a few weeks ago. They're up to 25, and Louth are also up 1, making way for Antrim's drop. Now, the thing is, you will say that Antrim beat Louth, and that'll be the stick he used to beat this with. I think over the course and the balance of the entire year, that result looks like a bigger and bigger shock. So it may be controversial, and Antrim people will not be happy going into next year, but at least they've got a bit of fuel to run their engine for 2020. Leitrim are down 1 to 23. They were dumped out of the championship by Clare at the weekend, which means Tipperary leapfrogged them and back up to 22. Longford then, Mickey Quinn's Longford, are down 1 to 21 after their defeat to Tyrone at the weekend. A little bit harsh, you'll say, and I do think it's a bit harsh to drop somebody in and around the 20s down after getting beaten by a top 5 team in Tyrone. But it's more to do with Offaly jumping, and their hammering of Sligo 317 to 15 points means they're up to 20, and it's as high as Offaly have got so far this year. Derry are down 2 to 19. They were knocked out of the championship by Laois. Really poor results, they will say. Great result from Laois. We'll get to them in a moment. Down are also down 2 to 18.
Should Offaly not be ahead of Derry?
No, they shouldn't.
Should Longford not be ahead of Derry?
Should Longford not be ahead of Derry? No, they shouldn't. Not right now. No, they shouldn't.
What did Derry do again? Got beaten in a game by Tyrone that Tyrone were just getting warmed up in.
Yeah, and then they put up 4-16 against Wexford. Pretty impressive scoreline. Name any other team that would put up 4-16 this year.
Everybody will put up 4-16 against Wexford.
Do you think so?
I do, yeah. I think Kildare would. I think everybody would.
Well, yeah, as I've been told in my year here, they are the worst team in Ireland.
Carlow might have a chance of putting 4-16 up against them.
Do you reckon?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Derry are a lot of people.
I think Longford would put up 4-16 against them.
I think that Derry are going to become something of a force in the next 5 years.
Whoa! Whoa!
I think that Derry are rising a lot quicker than you think, and I think that they're certainly better than. I think if you put Derry into the Leinster Championship.
Please let us not be having an argument about your power rankings in 5 years. But if we are, and Derry haven't done something in 5 years, if they've done anything in 5 years,
I think Derry have shown. I think Derry have shown signs of improvement this year. Do you not think?
But not enough to be like ahead of
Offaly, Longford, Tip, Leitrim, Louth.
They're still in the championship.
Doesn't matter. Stop being so based on results. Like, I mean, like we'll get to teams that have been knocked out. There are teams ahead of Offaly that are out of the championship. That have been out of the championship.
Derry.
And we've got a few more coming up as well. Just because you're out of the championship, it's an unfair competition, the championship. It's all about the luck of the draw. If it was a league, it'd be much easier. Well, we wouldn't be doing power rankings if it was a league, to be honest, because the league table would actually be the power rankings. But you know what I mean. This is an unfair championship. The draw is unfair. It's all lopsided, and you have to be a little bit subjective. And the correct result here is that Derry are 19th. Down are just ahead of them in 18th. Dumped out by Mayo. A bit of an unfortunate draw. They did get rid of Tipperary from the championship in the previous round, and they did well against Armagh in Ulster as well. Clare are up 2 to 17. They beat Leitrim by 3 goals at the weekend. And we've got Westmeath then at 16. Westmeath have actually taken a drop despite winning at the weekend. They beat Limerick 213 to 110. This is because Laois are up 3. And this is another indicator of how highly or how kind of middling I actually rate Derry. I think that their result against Derry was an absolutely fantastic result. I really do think that Laois's result over Derry was a brilliant result for the county, and they're up to 15 in my power rankings as a result of that. I think it was a game that I actually favoured Derry for, and I think a lot of people would have favoured Derry for. Derry deserve, as I say, to be in and around the top 20.
Meath hammered Laois.
Yeah, they did. And Meath are ranked ahead of Laois.
But I mean, Laois beat a bad Derry team who've done nothing except beat Wexford, who are crap.
Laois also beat Westmeath. Like, I mean, are you going to take issue with the fact that Westmeath are ranked 16th?
Well, yeah, because they're probably too high compared to...
Okay, who would you have ahead of them?
Well, who are we?
Like, come on, give me a county here. Give me a county you'd have ahead of them.
Teams behind.
Like, are you going to go with Clare? Are you going to go with Down? Are you going to go with Derry? Are you going to go with Offaly? Longford?
I would have Offaly close enough to them. I'd have Offaly, I think Offaly are actually a team who have done much better this year. I'd have Offaly ahead of Derry and ahead of Down at this stage because they've done nothing. And I'd have Offaly probably, I think Offaly and Clare, I guess we'll see.
Yes, we'll see. Is that your answer to my question? What a waste of time. Laois at 15, up 3. Fermanagh and non-mover at 14. Here's another one that are dumped out of the championship.
Fermanagh need to get down.
Why?
Because they're not the 14th best team. Like, what have they shown us this year?
They've shown us that they've got 2 horrendous draws. They showed us the folly of the championship structure as well. They drew Donegal and they got beaten by the second best team in the country. Then they drew Monaghan and they got beaten by Monaghan. What else are they supposed to do? Like, they could have put up a better offensive plan. They could have put up more of a fight. They could have got beaten in a higher scoring game perhaps. They were never going to win those games, I don't think. And the thing about Fermanagh is they're very, very close to their ceiling there, flirting just outside the top 10. I think they got to 11 maybe at one point this summer. They had a good league campaign. I
think they're vastly overrated on 2 performances last year. One of them was smash and grab against Monaghan in the Ulster Championship. And I think you've massively overrated them.
I don't think I have. It's unfortunate to have to bring up any league form, but unfortunately you have to with Fermanagh because of their crap Ulster and qualifier draw that they got in this summer's championship, and the fact that they conceded less scores or less points than anybody else in the National League.
In the championship this year?
Well, Donegal and Monaghan.
Yeah, but how good were this Monaghan team, it turns out?
Well, I think that this Monaghan team were underperforming massively, and these are rankings representative of where you're actually at,
so
how good this team
Monaghan
is.
team knocked them out. Not a bad draw, it turns out.
Monaghan are still above them. Like, I mean, we haven't even got to Monaghan yet. Meath are in 13th place. I've just heard a very angry producer there, disappointed with Meath being below Kildare. Meath are down to 13. They're down 3 places because they scored 4 points in the Leinster final.
I mean, 4 points in the Leinster final. It's hard to argue that one, Tommy.
I may have made a lot of shite arguments over the last couple of weeks, but Meath scoring 4 points in the Leinster final is a good enough reason to drop them down 3 to 13. Cork are a non-mover at 12. Got that right. Well, I got to get everything right in this list, don't I?
I mean, surely Cork have made a massive improvement.
To 11.
So Cork were no-hopers last week.
I didn't say that.
Well, I mean, you did.
No, I didn't.
Well, you did.
No, I didn't.
You've been predicting that Kerry were going to kill Cork.
No, I said Kerry would cover the spread against Cork, which was a 6-point spread. Thought Kerry would win by 7 or 8 points.
Yeah, did they?
A Kerry team that are ranked third in the world.
And did they? Did they cover the spread?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so Cork vastly outperformed your prediction.
Not vastly outperformed.
5 points. A 5-point swing is a massive
compared to saying they're going to beat the spread as to not actually beating the spread, but still losing the game is not that vastly. If they'd won the game,
if they run the third best team,
they 100% can. They showed they were brilliant against Limerick.
They're ahead of Monaghan now. Monaghan are gone.
Stop getting carried away with what the championship has shown us this summer.
Like the whole point.
No, it's not the whole point. The whole point is that these are very measured, very calculated rankings, and they're correct. They're based on we can't just base everything on one summer. Like if Cork got to an All-Ireland semi-final last year and then crashed out and had a bit of a disappointing year, you still have credit in the bank, as do Monaghan. Kildare have a lot of credit in the bank now. They're at 11 because they put up 125 against Antrim at the weekend, and Kildare are nearing last year's form before they got into the Super 8s, nearing Newbridge form last year. They don't have Daniel Flynn, and there's every chance that they don't make it to the Super 8s. We'll see. Monaghan are down 1 to 10. Beaten by Armagh at the weekend, and Armagh are ahead of them here in the rankings at number 9. And people will disagree with that Monaghan should still be in the top 10. But I just can't put them below Kildare, Cork, Meath, Fermanagh, Laois. I just can't have any of that crop above them until any of that crop actually break through and actually make the Super 8s. Kildare making the Super 8s without Daniel Flynn. Cork and Meath finally making it back into the last 8 would be a statement of intent and something that would move them into the top 10. Armagh, as I say, at number 9 after knocking Monaghan out, are having a brilliant season. Galway with their fingertips clinging onto the 8 spot. Cavan in at number 7 after losing the Ulster final. Mayo at 6. They beat down by 5 points the weekend. Roscommon, the Connacht champions, are at number 5. We've got Tyrone at number 4 after their win against Longford at the weekend. Kerry holding on to their number 3 spot after sneaking past Cork in the Munster final. Donegal, the best team in the country that won't win Sam Maguire this year after beating Cavan in the Ulster final. And Dublin at number 1 after conceding 4 points in the Leinster final.
Tyrone are way too high.
Who would you have ahead of them?
I don't know, but I like.
Give me a name.
I would have them behind Roscommon and Mayo at this stage.
Why? Behind Mayo?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what your evidence for that sort of move is. Like, if we're basically
Mayo are the league champions.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Like, Tyrone have been impressive in the league as well. Tyrone have showed impressive moments in the championship. They came up against an outstanding Donegal team. Of Mayo, Roscommon and Tyrone have had the toughest examination so far, and it was against Donegal. So and they lost. Mayo and Roscommon would have lost that game as well.
Maybe, but I think that I just think that they're up too high. I'm not convinced by this Tyrone side. I think there's a good chance Kildare turn them over.
There is, of course, there's a chance that Kildare turn them over. Kildare are the 11th ranked team in the country. Like, I mean, usurping 7 positions isn't the most unheard of thing in this summer's power rankings for sure. So it could easily happen. And if that happens, guess what will happen to Tyrone? They will plummet. But they won at the weekend.
One spot
they're holding on. You've got to understand their base Roscommon come from as well this year.
Right.